Hi everybody, this is Lee Jackson again, and this is our informative video series on different kinds of insurance and different ways you can protect your family. This one is about group plans versus individual. So the first thing we want to talk about is a group plan, which is what you would obtain through work. Individual is something you get on your own. So the difference in the two plans are the ones you get through work are generally better. They have many more benefits to you than an individual plan. But by the same token, group plans are more expensive, much more expensive than individual. Because with individual, you give up certain benefits that you get in group plans, depending on what company and what plan. There's many different companies, many different plans. So, do you pay all of it? Not usually. Your employer has to pay part of it for you. They can pay all of it, but the minimum is, and this is important, is they have to pay a minimum of either $100 a month for you or 50% of the plan, whichever they choose. And you have to be full-time to get on the plan. Now there are HMO plans, which are where you go to one doctor, it's your primary care physician, and that doctor has to refer you to specialists and to the hospital. And generally on group plans through work, it's much cheaper. If you look at an HMO plan through individual, it's so expensive, it's unbelievable. The reason I don't know, but it's much cheaper through work. And they're very benefit-laden plans where you may have no deductible whatsoever, which is awesome. So you go in for a test, no deductible. You go to the doctor, you make a copay. Everything's very, very reasonable. That's number one. Number two is PPO plans, and we've discussed these in other videos. It's prudent or preferred provider organization, which is a network. You usually have a deductible, which means the money I have to spend before I get money from the insurance company or get them to pay. There's also HSA accounts, health savings accounts, and those typically have a higher deductible. They're like a PPO plan, except they have a much higher deductible. And when you reach the deductible, which means you've spent that much money in a calendar year, from that point on, everything is usually free. Everything, unless it's a copay. So usually those can be pretty high, $5,000 to $10,000 deductibles. And some employers can help you reach that $5,000 to $10,000 deductible with different plans they have in place. Now, a lot of times it's not expensive for the employee to get a group plan, but it's very expensive to add on the family, wife, kids, you name it. One of the reasons is that your employer is paying a lot of your plan, but they're not going to pay for your kids and your wife. So one of the things I sit down with people in these dilemmas and I say, look, why don't you as an employee stay on the group plan? Why don't you put your wife and kids on an individual plan that would be a heck of a lot cheaper? Or if your group plan for all of you is too expensive, I do advise people to go to your human resource department and say, look, you're paying this much, whatever it is for me every month. Why can't I have that money and I go buy my own plan, which is what some people do. And if you're younger and healthier, you can go off and get your own plan with your family for a lot less money. Now on group plans, there is no underwriting. So you can be pregnant, you can have medical conditions, doesn't matter. On individual, it does matter. They can decline you on individual or they can raise your rates. On underwriting, on group, doesn't matter, not one bit. So you can do whatever you want. You can even be pregnant and walk into an HMO group plan and get coverage immediately. No waiting period whatsoever, which is awesome. So if your wife is not on your plan and she becomes pregnant and she doesn't have coverage, you can add her on your plan during open enrollment and bango, you got it right away. She is covered. Now what is open enrollment? That's another question. Open enrollment is a certain part of the year that the insurance company and the employer let you jump into the plan or enroll in the plan. A lot of times during the year you can't enroll or you can't change your plan because some employers may have different plans you have a choice of. It depends how big the company is and so on. So that's pretty much group plans. What happens if I leave? There is a law called COBRA, and people get confused and think it is an insurance policy. It's not. It's a law that says when you leave your group plan, whether you're terminated or you quit or something happens, the law says you can keep your group plan through your ex-employer for up to 18 months. But you have to pay for it. And a lot of times when the employer pays a lot of it, now you're going to pay the whole thing, so it can be pricey. So a lot of times when you leave, you may want to look at individual coverage to see if that's cheaper, but it also depends on your health. If your health is not good, you may want to stay on your COBRA plan for 18 months because, again, no underwriting and they can't say anything to you. When your COBRA plan is up, if you're in poor health, there is guaranteed coverage through a plan called HIPAA, and that's a government plan actually it's a government law that stands for the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, and it guarantees that when COBRA's over, you can get coverage. Now it's very pricey, I warn you. So if you're in good health, you don't want to go that way. You want to try to get individual, and I can always help you do that because you have 63 days after COBRA ends to get HIPAA. So in that 63 days, why not try to get individual coverage? It's not going to cost you anything to try. If you get declined, you get declined, you're on to the next. So that's pretty much what you need to know in group coverage. What kind of coverage do you want? What does your employer offer? And is it the kind of coverage you're happy with? And what part of it are they going to pay? I get people calling me up telling me they pay so little. What they don't realize is their employer is picking up the tab, most of it, so they're paying a very small portion. So hopefully this helps. I can help you with group coverage if you need advice. I can help you with individual coverage if you need advice. Please do call me. I don't charge. And this is Lee Jackson, and my number is 310-756-5976. Again, 310-756-5976. Have a great day. Keep your eyes open for the rest of our video that we have online for you to explain different kinds of insurance and make it simple for you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.